everything I know, I learned from Frank Miller, and everything I do as fast as flash run, quarterback status, and then some. Damn, the new 52, buying up every issue on DC, not exclusively what I'm into. Bastards, comics with the healthy Wolverine classics. The soul down below, so anything can go. Hell be exclusively filled with past enemy, Sabertooth. And you killed your dad for the second time in hell, man, tell me that's not badass.
Hey, Dustin, what's going on over there? You look hot about something.
Grumbly sounds.
Ah, yeah. How could an avid comic book reader, a huge comic book fan, be upset while reading a comic book?
I don't know. It just happens.
Well, the cover of that issue and the look of your face looks like something really tears your turd box.
Yeah, it does.
That's right. Tears Your Turd Box. CBMFP's new segment for you, the people, where you come to us and tell us what tears your turd box. What gets you pissed off, hot, bothered, angry, hands shaking, children being struck when your favorite comic book companies, characters, writers just basically take everything you love, shat on it right in front of you.
Right in front of you.
Perfect story, going great, gotcha. And that's how they end it? You end it, that's okay to you? Everyone agreed to end it like that. You fucking assholes. Killed your favorite character? That's probably happened.
It's probably happened a couple times.
Well, he probably came back and you're just like, what the fuck? Why'd you kill him in the first place? And then, as comic readers, you learn so much about storytelling. you learn so much about the comic hustle.
Yep. How
a buck is made. Because that's what they're going to do, and that's what they're going to keep doing.
So, it's kind of like, these are the worst moments in comics. They're the moments that resonate with you more than good storylines do.
Exactly. It's the moments where you're shocked. Basically, the trust was betrayed.
Yes.
You would follow these guys to hell and back. And then they were just like, not after this storyline.
Yeah. They were like, no, don't look behind you. And then you did, and you're like, oh, what the fuck?
What?
Now I'm stuck in Hades.
Exactly. And Hades happens to be your comic book shop, and you kind of want to keep buying to see what they do, but you're so angry. You're like, fuck these guys.
Yeah.
Well, that's the kind of stuff we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk to each other about it. You, the listeners, and, we love every one of you. You actually sent us some feedback.
And a couple of regular comic bastards and new comic bastards sent some feedback as well.
Exactly. I say we just get down to it.
Let's do it.
How would you like to start? Do you have one you like to start with, or you like to save it for later?
I'd like to save it for later.
All right, that's very good.
I want to get warmed up with my heatedness.
This is gonna. You want to start off kind of light?
Yeah.
You want to maybe tackle some numbering?
Yeah, let's do that one. That's a good kickoff point.
A good friend, Sean Sutz from Google Plus, and I apologize ahead of time if names are butchered. That's not our forte here. I'm not a modern linguist. I don't.
Nope.
Renumbering and goofy numbering. I think Marvel's notorious for this.
Marvel's about the only one that does this.
Really? It was just kind of saying Marvel without saying Marvel.
Yeah.
But then I said Marvel.
Yeah.
And the cat's like, meow.
I mean, there's been some other, crap. I mean, the 90s was notorious for half issues. Here's the hat 1/2 issue. Wizard exclusive. All I do is buy this shitty magazine.
Ugh, Wizard.
In which case, then anyone that dealt with Wizard, so Image, DC, Marvel, they all had the half issues, which are worth shit, in case you're wondering. Shit.
So as someone looks on his wall and just has them all framed.
It's like, so this Daredevil and this Deadpool 1/2 not worth anything?
Nothing. Not even the paper it's printed on.
He just burns it. He's like, I didn't take it off the wall first.
Why do they do that, you think?
Marketing. Well, I mean, the point one, Marvel's said that it is there for new readers to be able to jump on.
Wouldn't that confuse new readers even more?
Yeah.
Now there's fucking math involved.
24.1. I mean, and clearly it didn't work because they want to be rebooting their entire line.
Yeah.
If that had worked for new readers, it was obviously their last ditch effort of let's see if this works. If it does, then we don't reboot, and we can just use this formula instead. And it also helped them squeak out a couple extra issues, which is what they've been trying to do. Yeah, they're just, we want to do more than 13 issues a year. We want to do like 15, 16 of the same book that everyone's buying consistently. So
they become burned out on it, and the stories get thinner, and then they hate us.
Yeah, and we have to go and
they'll never
tap
hate
the
us,
art
but,
pool
yeah.
more and more. So, yeah, I mean, the goofy numbering of like the .1s, it's just dumb. Like you just look at it and you're like, fuck that. I have not bought a single .1 book. Just because I'm just like, all right, so what you have told me as a consistent reader is this issue is worthless for me. It is going to bring nothing to the table for me because I am already familiar with this storyline and these characters and this creative team. I don't need this issue. Right.
Because if I'm looking on the outside, I'm on the outside looking in, excuse me, and I see a point on shit, I'm going to be like, oh, this is 15.1. If I'm a new reader, how the hell am I supposed to understand what that is?
Yeah, there's no way for you to go.
I've never followed comics. Yeah. I don't get Marvel's, newsletter where I'm just like, oh, exactly. So that means shit to me.
Yeah, no, there's no way unless they ask questions, which new readers are notoriously intimidated by comic shops because they feel like everyone's just sitting there looking down on them. Which
and a lot of the time,
yeah, there's those shops. There are, and it's unfortunate.
This bullshit elitist type mentality.
All the shops I've been to in California, they are super fucking helpful and friendly. And the last thing they want is for you.
Because they're 1 month from going out of business.
Wow, rents are high here. The last thing they want is to scare away a new customer.
Exactly.
That's like the exact opposite. But yeah, without asking questions, there's no way to know that issue's for you. You're interested. This caught your eye. You should get that one because of a .1 on it.
Yeah. And you figure it would stagger like the readers. They're just like, what is this .1 shit? Why do I got to sit through this?
Yeah.
It's almost like you failed the class, you have to take it again. You kind of know everything except for the very end because that's where you failed.
For the renumbering, hopefully that'll go away. I don't think it will.
No.
Because Marvel's been notorious for like when a book hits 500, 600, whatever. And if it had been restarted previously, that'll switch over. So you can be at like issue 32 and all of a sudden the next issue's 600. Like Fantastic Four did it, and it was a mess because it was probably the 4th volume technically at that point. And then all of a sudden it was just like 600, yay, suck a dick.
And you're like, what happened? Where was I?
Yeah.
That's even worse. That would confuse people even more.
Yeah, and then there's been like Wolverine, I think 6,000, I want to say, or 1,000 or something. And DC had the 1 million issues, which obviously that didn't work out because
stupid.
They restarted all that shit.
You can almost be like DC. Everything you've done the last 5 years hasn't been working out.
Yeah. Well, hey, they kicked Marvel's ass last month.
Yeah. Well, wait till Marvel. What have you?
Reboots. And it's just gonna continue the battle. Yeah, the renumbering, and it's just gotten to the point where if I see it, I don't bother with it. It's just it's a 100% sales gimmick, and unless it's an ongoing series that I was going to continue buying anyways, and at which point,
now it's questionable.
It's questionable. It's kind of like, all right, well, what are you doing from this point on?
Right?
Can I take you serious? But for the most part, I was already going to buy it, and the numbering really doesn't matter to me as long as that story continues and the quality continues. But the fact that they're using it to try to get other people onto the book is just, if I wasn't reading the book, I wouldn't be like, oh, it's on 600. Let me buy this.
Yeah, and if you think about it, you're like, oh, I'm new to comics. Oh, 600. That's about 600 issues of stories. I have no idea what has happened.
Yeah. It's a big fuck off.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because, I don't know, I guess this kind of funnels into that. What aggravates me is when new readers are unwilling to start a book because it's at 300, 400, whatever.
Right.
And it's like, I didn't start reading Spider-Man at issue 1.
Yeah.
I just started. And eventually, you kind of get familiar with the book because it's more of the era that you're in that those stories are going to
resonate with.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not really banking on the fact that you read the 70s version or the 80s version. So.
Yeah, it's more of that. It's almost like a subculture, not so much a hobby anymore. It's just kind of taking this life onto itself where it is hard to get into it because you're like, well, how do you start? Where do you start?
Yeah.
What am I gonna like? Who am I gonna like? I mean, it's kind of like anything. You just gotta pick it up and go for it in a way.
Yeah, and it's always going to be a problem because even though DC restarted, we're a year into it almost.
Mhm.
At this point, any new readers are now a year behind.
Exactly.
They're not going to go back through and pick up all 13 issues. I mean, maybe a trade or something,
Yeah.
but they're not going to understand the entire universe. They're not going to go through and pick up 52 fucking books of 2 trades each. That's ridiculous. That's a lot to ask of them too.
And to that slight argument, like, there hasn't been really a whole lot going on.
No. Yeah.
So I mean, now more than ever, you probably could get away with it, and there'd be no culture shock or big humps, that you would have to be like, oh, that was a major event that happened,
Yeah.
and that shook up the entire universe.
But the problem I can see is that it's always going to be a problem.
No, yeah, you can
And
never
they're-
escape it. That's
And the only thing is to just reboot every 5 years, all brand new number ones. And granted, they don't have to redo the entire universe, but if they were just like, okay, title shift,
yeah, or just
mixing things
let the
up, everything's
series
back to
run
number
its
ones.
course. Just be like, hey, we're gonna do
that would be the smarter thing.
blank this book for I don't know, 68 issues or whatever. Then that's its story. And you know what I mean? Just kind of like map it out more. I know it's based off sales and what have you, and who's willing to work and who's available, what have you. But just have like an end game, so you can be like, all right, that that Green Arrow book or whatever got traded, and it's good. That's it. Now it's Green Arrow, retaliation, something stupid.
Well, it's like I wrote an article on comicbastards.com about how comics should embrace the TV formula of having seasons and having off seasons and stuff, where you have a book like Green Lantern do 6 to 8 issues. I use that loosely because you could realistically do 8 issues. You don't have to set it at 6, and then have it be off for 6 months or 4 months or whatever, and then
maybe you
have
can spotlight another title.
Yeah, and you have Green Lantern Corps take over.
Right.
And not only does it move everything slower so that people aren't so lost with it, but it gives all these creative teams a chance to take a break, burn out your artists as fast. And really, there's more of an interest, a dedicated interest, because they're like, oh, fuck, I got to wait for this book.
I can't wait till Green Lantern comes back, dude.
Exactly.
This next season is going to be the shit.
Yeah, and it hooks people because they're going to need something to fill that void while they wait for the book to return.
Right, and if it's, if that whole Green Lantern sub-world is mapped out, well, you can go to Corps, Guardians, Lantern, and not miss a beat.
Exactly. It would build the consistency and the continuity so strongly.
Yeah.
To where you couldn't fuck it. You wouldn't be able to fuck anything up. Because
Right.
it'd be like, here's a giant fucking map. If you
Right.
go off course,
Here's
you're
a
off the
blocked
book.
out 6-month, 8-month period of where
Yeah.
this is not fucked up.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, they should. It goes to one of those things like, it harkens back to the digital argument of why this medium took so long to change.
Yeah.
Like, when the digital stuff started creeping up, they should have already been on that, like, lickety quick. They should have.
The community was practically doing half of it for them already.
Exactly.
So.
And they just started to do it probably because they were losing so much money on it, and it was just out of control. But that's something they need to adopt, because their system, like you said, it's flawed. So if I came in as a new reader and everyone's hubbub about Green Lantern, I can be like, oh, let me jump on second season.
Yeah.
And that way, maybe I can get a trade paperback or whatever, a first season.
Exactly.
And then I caught up. I love it. Now I'm down for the team, and now I jumped in. A great jump on point. I'm down.
Well, yeah, and like I said in my article, it's because they're trying to copy the movie industry. And
Right.
it's like,
It won't work.
You're not set up like the movie industry.
not.
So don't do that.
It's not a bunch of one shots.
Yeah. So, anyways, well, we kind of went crazy with the.
Sorry, but
It's all right.
how would you like to go next? What looks tempting? What box is torn the hardest?
You want to get the movie one out of the way?
Yeah, let's do that one.
I figure that's something for people that are just like, shut up, you nerds, about your comic books. I tune in to hear you talk about
Movies.
movies and dongs and shit.
Well, sir, you're a very small speckle of our audience.
You're very small. So.
We appreciate you none the same. All right, the movie related one was This came from Carl.
Who's been on the podcast.
And he's a great asset to the website.
Yep.
Which is combasters.com. He has his own website, infozombie.com. This one, The Amazing Spider-Man 2012.
Yep.
Picture movie talkie. Got him hot. He said it could be the worst superhero film he's ever seen. And I won't elaborate too much on his opinions because, oddly enough, we shared the very same views.
Yeah, as Kevin said right before, when he read the question, he was like, "Did he watch the movie with us?"
Could have swore he was right behind us, going, I agree. This is
taking the same notes.
Yeah. Saw it a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know how we did not talk about it on the site. We saw it when it came out, whatever.
We got caught up talking about comic books, actually.
Yeah, I think the comic business actually was doing well that week, so
Yeah.
we decided, let's go comic books. A lot of the problems with the movie, I think, to Joe Q, movie watcher, whatever, probably fell by the wayside. Like, example he has here, when he's falling off the building and Connors has to pull him up. Stick to the fucking building.
We've seen you stick to buildings the entire movie. All of a sudden, danger.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're just like, oh, this building's falling over, and I have like ultimate stamina, and I'm not winded out. And then you're hanging on you stick to shit, dude. You stick
like
to shit.
90% of what you do.
Yeah, just stick to it and shut up.
Stick that landing, Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Yeah, not a lot of sense was made with that.
No, and
it was just there to show that his arm was falling off, and he wasn't that bad of a guy when he wasn't all juiced up on the lizard.
Yeah, that's exactly all it was. It was dramatic. He had come full circle, and c'est la vie. I'm dead. Or armless. I'm a terrible character.
He was armless. He didn't die.
He should have.
They learned from the mistakes of the first ones where it's like,
don't kill him off.
Don't kill them off because you can actually use them in a sequel.
Over and over.
And not have to push in so many new fucking characters.
Another example, in the gym, ball goes to the head, spider sense goes off.
Yep.
But when he's playing Booble Bobble in the sewers, no spider sense?
No spider sense. Lizards, if you didn't know, apparently they can defeat the spider sense. Oh, wait, no, they can't.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Anytime, like,
even that stupid subway scene where he was all fucking kickbox champ in the subway when the guy puts a beer can on his head. Why he would do that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Why he would be surprised that someone woke up with a beer can would be pissed off, I don't know.
What are you sleeping on public transit in New York for?
Seriously. I know you don't feel well, but maybe you should, I don't know, not take up so many seats and people
Take a cab?
Yeah, take a cab.
Yeah. It was just bad. And then, God, he must have really totally watched the movie. The whole scenario where the cranes are coming to get, let's do this for Spider-Man.
Yeah,
it was like a video game, man. Like,
it was.
Hey, if you don't make all the spider cranes in time, they throw Gwen Stacy off a bridge and kill her. Whoops, spoiler. But, they didn't do that.
Yeah, in the realistically, are there that many cranes on one city block?
Realistically, what were they building?
Yeah.
Like a whole new city? Because I was like, this thing goes on for miles.
I don't think those cranes are permanent. I mean, I don't live in New York. I could be wrong. Motherfuckers could be looking at, there's that fucking crane again. Always fucking helping Spider-Man out.
Yeah, and then...
But I doubt it. I've been in New York. I didn't see fucking cranes on the same block. Oh, there's a fucking crane. Oh, there's another one.
Let's help Dustin. He's trying to get the Comic-Con.
Yeah, seriously. And then I was like, it's all right. I'll just walk. I mean, this really seems like a stupid
No, you
mode of
sure, man? We're going to go ahead and line all these cranes up real quick.
Huh? All right, if you insist. I mean, I'm still just going to walk because, fuck you. Should have let your son die. There.
Well, that's really cool, but all right.
My biggest problem with the movie was that it suffered from what I call the Batman syndrome, where I spend more time with the people behind the masks than I do with the hero. Like, we spend more time with Peter being Peter than figuring out why he's a good hero as a Spider-Man.
Right.
And that's kind of why we're watching the movie, is to see him in costume.
Did you pick up Spider-Man issue whatever to read about Peter?
No.
You wanted to see him kick the Sinister Six nutsack in.
Exactly. I wanted to read about Spider-Man.
It's crazy.
And I enjoy the tidbits behind the mask but that's not my focus. That's not what I'm turning in.
Because when you do go behind the mask, that Mark Webb guy thinks he's doing that summer movie, and there's so much cheek caressing in that fucking movie. Count how many times a cheek gets caressed.
Yeah.
And when he came out of the sewer to Gwen's, wouldn't he stink like all kinds of shit?
It'd smell like a fucking sewer.
Peter, what happened? Well, did you roll in pig shit for 5 hours in the hot sun?
Yeah, her dad would smell that from the hall. Honey, did you toilet back up or something? I don't remember putting a bathroom in your room all of a sudden, but
yeah.
Let me come in there. Oh, you got female problems. Oh, I'm doing this lyric. I gotta stay away from those. Those are scary to me.
I was gonna say something really foul, but then you came in with the toilet thing. I was gonna be like, homeless man blow bang going on in your bedroom because they stink.
Yeah.
Google that if you don't know what it is. Homeless people.
Don't Google that. At least not at work.
Mm.
The other thing I had for it was Uncle Ben's death. Like,
That was the most unmoving.
yeah, I will definitely admit in the first Spider-Man, it doesn't really work very well in that one either. Like
It feels dated.
yeah.
Like he's just a crazy old guy wandering the streets and he catches a hot one.
I'm talking about like the Sam Raimi one. It doesn't really work.
I meant
He's
both
just-
of them too.
Yeah. It's very like, and in the comic book, he just gets killed on the front porch. It's like, why can't we just use this formula? He just gets killed on the front porch.
Yeah, he comes off real senile. Like
he's just like, I'm gonna stop you.
Peter? Will Peter hear my voice in the big city if I just yell his name? Peter, dude, dude, there's things called cell phones, bro, and he'll be back.
No, he called him. Remember, he had
Yeah,
that
I know,
saved
but-
message that you probably had to call in and save every day because his service provider.
Your
would
voice
be like,
box is full.
We're gonna delete this. You need to resave it. All right, you resaved it too many times. It was just,
We
I
get
was
it.
like,
Your
this is
dad's
gonna
dead.
get-
We get it. And when did you get that new keyboard that you tore apart?
yeah,
And all of a sudden you got a new keyboard, bro? Come
it's
on.
his uncle.
It's a loner from the
No, his dad. You said his dad.
what? No, I meant his keyboard.
Whatever.
Remember he was typing on the keyboard.
Yeah,
and the
no, I know,
keys-
and it stuck to his fingers.
What did I say? His uncle?
You know, you said his dad. You meant his uncle.
I don't know.
His arrogant father. It's all right. I knew what you meant, but then you went into the keyboard thing, and I was trying to like address it so that someone wasn't like, Uncle, it's his uncle with the dentures.
From the West Wing.
Yeah. I was talking to Jason. He was like, I was glad he died because I was tired of looking at his dentures every time he talked. And then we talked about the scene where, you know, he was like, oh, good for the continuity. He still had the chocolate milk in his pocket. And I was like, yeah, but he's a fucking piece of shit for still having the chocolate milk. You should have seen a scene where he threw the stolen chocolate milk. I'm like,
Or at least gave it to him to try to revitalize him.
drink this.
It's muscle milk, bro.
It's elixir +5. It'll give you five hit points back.
He was like, Peter. I don't know.
Yeah, the whole death scene was just fucking terrible. And the fact that they tried to pull a Batman and not resolve him finding the killer of his uncle just pissed me off. And how many guys look like a fucking bleach blonde surfer dude that are criminals in New York?
Yeah.
200 apparently.
Yeah. That was.
He was just like, I got the ways to go. I don't know what accent that was. That's a Queens accent.
Did he-
In case you're from Queens and you're just like, I do kind of sound like that.
Did he cast a spell on him? What did he say?
No, I said, I got the ways to go.
Dude, he sounds like he's from Skyrim or some shit. I got some ways to go. I'm a Khajiit. I'm going to sell you some moon. I'm sorry. Yeah, terrible movie.
Yeah. It just,
A lot of people seem
it was
to
like
it.
when we watched it, we were just like, yeah, I think your review was, it's a movie.
It's a movie.
And then the more we've like,
When it
think about it, and we're just
sits,
like, fuck that movie.
it stews, it brews around, and you're just kind of like, just stop making these fucking movies.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you won't. Maybe get a director that understands comic books.
Yeah, that's like, I don't know what this whole trend of, let's get a guy who did a genre movie that's completely different than this movie. Let's get people that do quirky dramedies to film an action movie.
Yeah.
It's very hard for me to believe that.
Yeah.
There's, like, if you look at Hong Kong cinema,
I will.
great
and
example.
I do.
They know how to film Hong Kong action scenes, you know, like kung fu scenes.
Yeah.
But you bring it over to America, they're like, let's just do a close up.
Just
so you
zoom
don't know what
into
the
his
fuck's
pocket
doing.
and watch him fight.
That's the same equivalent. You're
Yeah.
taking it out of the hands of people that know what the fuck they're doing with it, know how to show it to the audience and make them understand what's happening. And then just being like, here's an extreme close up. Good fucking luck.
Yep.
How about some cheek caressing?
Yeah, cheeks. God, that should be on the cover of the DVD.
It probably will.
Just 2 cheeks and a hand. Just,
cheek caressing edition.
And, like cheeks on your face, guys. Come on, guys. Come
It'd be
on.
better if it was the other cheeks.
It would be actually. That's another movie. That's a parody. That will probably come out soon.
Caress the amazing spider cheeks.
There you go. May the
I don't wanna see
Spider-Man
that.
blows.
Yep. Well,
Hey,
we did it. We covered it. Hopefully Carl was like, yeah,
I'm glad.
agreed.
I'm glad that was handled.
Yes.
Is it-
It was about time we talked about it.
Yeah,
you know?
it was.
It was the one superhero movie we saw the
didn't-
day it released, and we didn't fucking talk
I
about it.
know.
What can you do?
Maybe next time.
It was so uninspired we didn't want to talk about it.
You know what? There's another hot button.
Do tell.
Kickstarter. And basically, everyone's pretty much familiar with it. It's a source where, you know, kind of independent publishers or creator-owned guys can kind of get a leg up, if you will.
Yeah, it's crowdsourcing.
Exactly. You reach out to the fans, the public, what have you, and go, you know what can you guys help me with this? Do you want this to happen? You know, I got the way, I just don't really have the means.
Yeah.
So we come together, everyone's got a hand in it, we're all stoked on it.
Yeah. Microtransactions,
Mm-hmm.
you know, dollars here. You can always do more, but it's just, instead of going to one person and be like, give me $5,000, you go to 5,000 people and say, give me $1.
And yeah, and it's perfect, right?
Yeah, it's a good system. It's actually, Kickstarter's become like the #1 publisher of independent books and comic books. So,
Who'd have thunk it? And
Or
now
number
it's
two,
being
whatever.
abused.
of course it is.
It took like 2 seconds.
Yep.
I mean, you have like companies, and we kind of touched on this in the past, Top Cow. I can't even say their name without a little chuckle just dancing on my lips.
Fucking
And IDW, they're using, why?
IDW is the 4th. They surpassed Dark Horse. They're now the 4th largest comic book publisher.
Something must be
You
right.
Do not need my money to fund a book.
No.
You just need to fund the fucking book.
You
They're
need to
they're
figure-
almost like they're using it as a marketing thing and a cost cutting measure.
Yeah. You don't want to give, you know, Lamont and Leroy fucking benefits. So you're putting a book through there. So now
Yeah.
it's kind of ridiculous, and it's kind of,
Well, even the Xenoscope animation. I mean, I almost view that as they were just kind of gauging to see the interest in it.
that's what it felt like. Because
Not so much that they need the money. Like
Like when you-
Titmouse didn't draw 15 episodes for you, which is clear from that trailer. There's several episodes already in the can.
Yeah.
So
It maybe seemed, you know what, that kind of, just speaking about that, it came off more as, these are done, how are you going to fit the bill for them?
yeah.
And, oh, let's
Like
Kickstarter.
Titmouse sent them a bill and were like, this is how much you owe us. And they were like, we don't
Ooh.
make that much in a year.
American money? And you're like, yeah.
Because we got a lot of francs. Do they use those anymore?
We won't take hot dogs.
Well,
Boop, boop, boop. That's it. That's all the jokes got.
yeah.
So, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about these kind of, you know, I'm going to go ahead and say you're a label. You're an indie label, but in Kickstarter world, you're a big hitter.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
not-
and
you're
this
not-
came from Matt, our newest contributor on
Yeah, thank you, Matt, for that.
And I think he makes a good point. He's like, even the big publishers are looking to crowdsource their projects. I'm not against crowdsourcing, and I understand that they need funding to do research and interest, but it feels as if indie creators will once again be overshadowed. And I agree, because there have been a lot of indie books. There's even been books that started off as Kickstarter that Image picked up because they gained so much popularity. They're like, all right, we're going to, you know, that's cool. You got the ball rolling. You did your initial cost, and now we're going to make more money for you.
Exactly. We're going to get your name out there, your audience, brand, totally everything grows.
Yeah. So, I mean, I do think it's bunk. If you're a corporation, you should have the finances. You should have the
finance, the connections.
business,
yeah.
The understanding of the business to make it happen within your own means. And if you can't make the project happen without asking for a handout, then it doesn't get on the schedule until you can.
Yeah.
That's plain and simple. If you got to wait for some checks to clear, you wait for those checks to clear. If you got to wait to see how Q2 pans out, that's what you got to do. That's why you're a fucking business.
Yeah, or if it's that close to your heart and you're that personal about it, cancel some other books.
Seriously.
Get that going on. Look at that turd. If it ain't selling, flush it.
Yeah. I mean, Marvel and DC kind of do that all the time. They're like, all right, we want these 2 creators on this book. They'll cancel 6 books to afford the salary for them, knowing that one book's going to sell better.
I mean, it's almost like they're turning it into like some sort of hipster doofus trend. They're like, oh, you're over there, let me get a piece of that action. And you're like, dude, no, that's not what it's for. It's not.
Yeah.
This isn't like the thrift store and everyone's just wearing, ironic T-shirts and shit. It's because they're poor and they have to wear those shirts to, have clothes.
Yeah. And I mean, here's a good example. I just personally funded and talked about on the site. It's called No Peace But War. And it's this real life story about this one platoon and this guy that was in the platoon and witnessed this heroic act where this guy basically single-handedly took out this bunker of the enemy. And I'm probably doing a horrible job selling it, but it's like he was like, I was only able to afford so much of the book, and I printed it in all black and white, and did what I could with it. And he went back to he went to Kickstarter to be like, I'm looking for this much so I can finish it with this artist, give the book a consistent look, and to color it, and make it to where this will actually stand out.
The best product it could be.
Exactly. And I felt like that was worthy to support.
Right.
I liked the fact that the story was realistic, but it wasn't like a mouthpiece for the military. It was just like, it's a mouthpiece for this guy's.
It was a moment in time that he had, and he was like,
that was just, it's
I need to
mix.
share this with people.
Yeah. And I think that to me is more of what Kickstarter is going. If he can continue his career after that, that's cool. Like if he came back every time.
Right, then
that would be. But it's like when you got like 3 baby projects and you're starting off, that's cool. Do 3. But when you're Marvel, IDW, any of these guys, you don't need that.
Right.
Like, you just don't. Why are you in a business if you gotta ask for a handout?
Exactly. I mean,
so
you just got to reevaluate what's important and stop asking for handouts. If you want to gauge fan response, there's so many comic book websites you can do that on. They'll do that for you. Yeah. Partner up with them. Just go, hey, are the fans feeling this?
You should be on every social network.
Yeah,
and that is the place to do it. It's called putting up a poll on your Facebook page, on your fucking Tumblr page. Oh, you don't have one of those Marvel? No, it's because you're behind the times.
Do a video or something. Ask, like, when you have all these cons that are just drizzled across America and pretty much in other countries also, go there. Talk to the fans face to face. Be like, hey, if we did a book about, half men, half scorpion guys, banging alien monkeys, are you all about that shit? And then, yeah, you're going to
be like, yes.
Yes, I want to see that.
How
right
much
now.
Penetration?
Yes. Full on.
Double penetration with the stinger and everything.
It's there. And
how much money can I give you for this?
As much as you'd like to spend.
$100.
That's fine.
We will. All right. That's our book, by the way. You can't take
the monkeys wear the monkeys wear hockey masks the whole time.
Even better.
Right.
I don't want to see their faces.
You don't want to. They'll make weird faces, like their O faces are like gross.
And you're like, oh.
And they're
more of a vomit face than an O face.
And then when they do, it just cuts to a wall with like a banana just getting slapped across it. So you're just like, oh, is that like symbolism? Is that subtext for?
What does that mean? I don't want to think about it, but I need answers. And then in the back it just says semen.
Yeah, it didn't stand for the monkeys or their semen. It just stood for the fall of Western civilization. It's real deep, a lot of undertones. So do that. Establish comic book companies. You cheap fucks.
It's just they have so many ways of gauging.
It's just response. You know what? It goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Your old business model don't work no more.
Yeah,
that's it.
I mean,
the world's moving too fast, buddy.
For fuck's sakes, they even have their own podcast. I know that Marvel has one. I'm pretty sure most of the other ones do too. And if they don't, hey, we'll do 2 podcasts a week. We'll sit there and talk about your shit. I mean, we might use the F word a lot, and we might not like everything that you put in front of us, but we'll fucking do it. Not really, probably not. Whatever.
I guess. I'd scratch up a Monday for you.
Yeah, I'd see what happens. But I mean,
I'd
they,
throw it
they
in the-
have a direct What?
I was gonna say, and this is for a special fan, I throw it in the bed with Madonna and see if she sleeps with it. Dated joke by all means.
Oh no,
That's perfect.
it's a joke that keeps happening.
It's an Al Bundy joke.
But it's like they have a direct, direct access to their fan base.
Yeah, you're the machine. You're the cog. You don't need help. Go
Yeah.
fuck yourself. Get it right. You know what I mean?
There you go. I am not funding any corporate Kickstarters.
Yeah,
I
that'd be-
didn't fund Xenoscope. No offense, guys. I mean, I talked about it. I gave people the option. I'll give you the option. But
Yeah,
doesn't
we'll
mean
put
I'm
it
gonna
out
do
there. We're like, hey, this is out there. You know what to do. And then we just wink at the end of the
We
article.
wink. And then you just post a comment. I'm not sponsoring this.
That'd be like Hollywood going, you guys want that Amazing Spider-Man 2? $20. And you're like, no, okay.
Do I get to go see it for free when it comes out? Oh, fuck no. We'll
Do I
send
get-
you a postcard, maybe.
Do I get to be in it? No. Do I get to show up and hang out at craft services? How do you know what that is?
How do you know? Do I get a little hologram card?
No.
No,
You know what you
We
get?
don't have money for hologram cards.
You get a TV commercial letting you know when it's coming out.
Oh, fuck yeah. Do I get to see it before everyone else? Oh, yeah, sure. Whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever you turn on your TV. I mean, just do that first.
It'll be at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Do I get a free pass of that? What don't you understand about this project?
But it's exactly like you said. It's just like, hey, you want Avengers 2? Gotta pay for it.
Yeah.
You want that Justice League movie? You better pay for it.
Oh,
'Cause otherwise, that shit's
nobody's
gonna just
fronting
get
that.
delayed again. Anyways,
That was a passionate one.
it was a good one.
That was a good one.
It's because it's near and dear to our hearts of
it's-
indie comic books. So.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like seeing indie comic books lose
I don't eat where I shit.
that too. I don't like seeing them lose a faucet of. I'm probably saying that wrong. A faucet of funding that's out there for them.
The only way you
Maybe a
said it wrong,
facet.
but then you're like, I'm gonna keep saying it.
A facet? Yeah.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
take food out of their mouth when you're eating.
Exactly.
You're high on the hog. Whitey. So we get.
Yeah,
keep that.
Whitey will pay, motherfucker.
What else you got? Do you have one, or you want to just tackle this one? This is an old one, but it still kind of stinks today.
Yeah, I'll save mine for a little bit later. I think there's enough. We'll save mine for
All
if
right,
we have
all right.
time.
Bruce Wayne.
Oh, we're going to this one.
You want to do that one?
Yeah, no, let's do
All
this
right.
one. You want to say who it's from first?
It's
or-
from Danny C. Cabrera. I want to say that. I hope that's correct, sir.
I think that's right. From
And
Google Plus.
That's
again.
from Google Plus. Thank you, Google family. The Journey Home. That crap made no sense.
That made us laugh because it was true.
You were just like, oh, Grant Morrison's on this. It has to be good. At least decent, fair.
Yeah.
Top tier writer.
I don't know. They gave him a bunch of artists so that it would ship on time.
That's suspicious. But he
Didn't
wanted
want
to,
another Final Crisis, eh?
oof. He didn't want. He wanted to give each era and each book its own feel. So, i.e., the different artists.
Sure, we can believe that corporate lie. Yeah.
Corporate lie.
We all know it was his shipping schedule. That was it. And it was a hurry up. Hurry
Yeah.
up, get it done. We're behind.
And yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense.
No.
It just
You
felt.
read that first issue.
And you were like, I remember I read that for the Caveman,
Yeah.
the Batosai or whatever shit he called it. I got nervous. I looked around the room. I was like, oh shit. I had sweat beaded on my brow. I looked for an adult. I was like, someone explain this shit to me.
Help me.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Vandal Savage was there, it should have been cool.
Vandal
but
Savage
instead,
rules.
it was just like, wow, you neutered him.
Hard.
You just took the man that wouldn't die and took his ball sack.
You put a rubber band around his nads, and you're like, you walk around for about 45 minutes. We'll see what it does to you down there.
Yeah.
He was like, I suck now.
I mean, just the fact that he just left all of his shit. It's just like,
Batman was
Here's
here.
these things that might help me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the super squad of suck showed up and were like, we just missed him. Whoa.
How do you miss them? You're in a time fucking machine.
Yeah.
You don't miss somebody on a time.
You go, okay, let's go 5 minutes back. Again.
Credits. Book's
Instead,
over.
they were like, let's jump again. Let's just continue this 5 minutes behind him. Stupid trend. Until he beats us back to the future. And then we're stuck at the end of time. Oh, because he was there too. And really, this was just a big bomb in his chest to destroy the world? But wait, how did he know that he was going to lose in Final Crisis and set all this up? Especially if that other villain was in Final Crisis and he was actually the one manipulating. Do you see why this is shitty yet?
That's what... Because, I mean, DC probably let all that shit soak in. They're like, we got to start over.
Yeah. Well, and...
You backed us up into a corner, Mr. Morrison.
The thing is, it's like, I get it. They don't want to touch Grant Morrison. You don't go to Grant Morrison and say, no, you can't do that. But you need to. You can't let him be a rock star diva because it fucks with too much of your other shit. Especially when you put him on a top tier book. Like, at that point, you have to acknowledge what he says. Or, like, what happened. And then all the other inconsistency leading up to all that shit.
Just go crazy, bongos.
Yeah, and his answer was just, it's comic books. Thanks, Grant Morrison. I didn't know that. You fuck. Mad props on most of your work, but that answer...
You stupid twats is just comic books.
Yeah.
I didn't remember when he said that. I just looked at it. I was like...
The audience got quiet for a minute. Like,
you could hear...
just fucking say...
You could hear a church mouse piss on a cotton ball. That's how quiet it was.
It's like, you don't get to use comic books as a reason for why your comic book sucked.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
You know what he should have said? He'd been like, hey, man, I got out of control. No one pulled the reins in.
No one edits my shit. And then other people, and I don't like to give up my story before I make it up a month before I turn the script in.
So,
because I think that's honestly what happened is he, because it already happened with the new Action Comics and Superman. That's
where everybody was just like, what am I drawing?
Yeah, that's why George Perez left the book, because he was like, didn't know what the fuck was happening in the book. Grant Morrison was keeping his shit under wraps, and his book's happening before mine, so I can't do certain things in case it fucks up what he does. It's at some point you got to be like, Grant, you need to give us a fucking outline.
Yeah.
And I don't think his writing style is that he works with one. Like, he's more of I write it that month. I write it that month. But that doesn't really work,
Yeah.
So... Yeah, fucking the journey home. And then when he just woke up in the fucking swimming pool, then he's like, nah, time to go back to work. And I was like, what is up with these last 3 pages? Why are they so rushed? And then Tim was like, Brosie,
where you been?
You're back. I'm the only one that didn't lose hope. You're your shitbag son that everyone fucking loves and thinks the best thing that ever happened to Robin. And everyone's wrong. He gave up.
By the way.
So, but it doesn't matter because now I've been discontinued as Robin. It never happened. Even if, there's that one page showing me as Robin in that first issue.
Check that out, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no, the journey home, it was just like, look at those covers. They're really pretty.
If the covers weren't the nervousness of your hand shaking as you picked it up off the fucking comic rack, you were like, is he a pirate in this? Pirates are cool, right?
Yeah, just some of the choices.
Is he a desperado?
Some of the fucking choices they made. Oh, no, he's an actual detective. And then you read the book and you were like, he was never a detective in this fucking thing.
He never detects shit. He just knows shit.
No one knows how to detect anything. Apparently, everyone needs to actually just... If you're going to work on Detective Comics, they should just hand you every Sherlock Holmes book ever written, even a fan fiction of it, so that you understand. That's how a detective works.
I would just go down the New York bestseller and just find a detective writer and be like, hey, bro, here's $20. Just write this for me.
Yeah, just do this. And then I'm just going to add biffs and bams on top of it.
I would have thrown some fucker with a white face, some dude with the question marks all over him, but kind of wears like a hat now. He's real distinguished.
He's got the suit. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. Who knows? No, they made the question mark into his hair now because that was really fucking stupid.
He got shaved eyebrows, too.
Does he probably?
You believed it for a second. You're like, that's
I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, he's probably got gang ones where you just shave like 3 lines in it. I can see the Riddler rocking that.
He's got YOLO on the other side of his head. just real stupid shit.
It's like, how can we make this character worse?
They'd be like, you know what, guys? I love the way Batman did. I haven't read a detective book that was so amazing. But your character's a YOLO on the side of Riddler's head. What the fuck was that?
I don't know what that means. Kids keep yelling it at me as they throw fucking snowballs at my head in the middle of July. Where do they get that? Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, Danny, we agree with you that one, we, for the website we were working at previously, we wrote several articles of what the fuck is going on here, where we went like page by page and just questioned everything our eyes were telling us were on that page. I was like, no eyes, this must be a lie. I did not see this.
It was one of those things where it's like the pieces are in place for something pretty special, right?
Yeah.
And then it's just that whole like, what? It takes you like months to figure that shit out of like, you're taking cold showers and shit, like rocking yourself to sleep. You're like, what happened? What did I? And then you look at yourself, you're like, what did I go wrong? Yeah. What didn't I understand?
And the worst part is you'd kind of forget about it. And then the next issue would come out and you'd be like, well, I'm still trying to figure out the first 3. Fuck this 4th one. And by the time you got to the end, just nothing made sense. And the whole issue was just rushed.
Yeah.
Like they were just like, just finish this. I don't even care. Yeah. Like I just go back to those last 5 pages where if you just read them, you're just like, what the fuck just happened? He just woke up from a bath and now he's putting on the bat suit and everyone's cool. Everyone's fucking cool. We're just fucking cool with this.
We're battling for the cow,
Isn't
but everyone's
Dick still fucking Batman? How did he just put on the suit? Wasn't Dick like, hey, what are you doing in my fucking wardrobe? Huh, Bruce? Huh?
Like, well, I'm 2 sizes bigger. I'm Diesel.
Shush.
You're a little bitch.
Just fucking incredible.
They're probably just
incredible
like
hulking that suit. He's like, yeah, I got fucking caveman muscle.
Listen, that's the end. He wakes up in a pool of water. Oh, I get it. The rebirth. I get you. I get he's being reborn again.
Except for, yes, cross through water, not wake up in water.
I think it's either or, actually.
Well,
I think because when the characters come from water, it's a symbol of being reborn. Anyway.
But when they're putting in a man-sized swimming pool, it just perfectly fit his body. They're like, no, room for one. Just him.
They're probably just like, listen, put him in a goddamn
just like him.
Taco John ordering tater tots. I don't give a fuck where you put them. Just end this shit. End it. And Taco John is in the background.
He's just like, thanks for the plug. We don't get a lot of play in comic books anymore.
Can I get a burrito with some tater tots? And is that Batman? Is he back?
Batman? That motherfucker.
Oracle's at the top.
We are both going to have diarrhea later. That is awesome. I got the shits with Batman.
I don't even know if Taco Johns are still around anymore. That's like a Midwest thing or something.
Yeah, I don't know where Taco John's exist. Or if they do. Someone is working at Taco John's listening to this and they're like, this is why. This is why no one fucking comes in here. I just get to listen to my fucking podcast all day. So, thank you, sir. Whoever you
madam.
Write us. Yes, or madam. Write us about your experiences working at Taco John. We will read them on air.
And we'll put comic book characters in your story and make it wicked.
We'll change all the names. So let's move on from that one. Otherwise, I think we could spend another hour talking about that.
Oh, here's another one from Gabriel that hits on Google Plus again. That's going to hit close to your heart.
Yeah.
Marvel Entertainment. Basically, Nick Fury Jr. I'm just going to get right.
That's the gist of it.
The meat and potatoes. What? Why? Shrug. Hands up.
Well, he has a good little... I'll read this line. Just so he looks like Sam Jackson in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. You nailed it. That's the only reason. It's so that...
Because the comic book fan is now ignorant to Nicholas Fury and all his shenanigans.
Yeah.
It can only equate him to Sam Jackson on the screen.
Yeah. All because Marvel made the brilliant choice of let's cherry pick from our Ultimate Universe, which is a different line of comics altogether,
yeah,
and our regular universe, and we'll just mesh them into the movies And then when people go and they're looking for Nick Fury and they see an old white guy who's actually really badass and has the legacy fucking formula, keeping him alive, keeping him strong and awesome.
Ellipsis.
And he's the best fucking spy in the world. Let me just go on. Best spy in the fucking world. He's buried 3 sons. The motherfucker busted his old woman out of the jail cell. Fuck, he is awesome. Like, you don't need to fucking fix this guy. And they were like, well, we confused our audience, so we got to make him look like Nick or
our bad.
Sam Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're just going to make him his 4th fucking son. Apparently, Nick Sr.
Nick Jr.
Nick Sr. just put his dick in anything he could.
He's back to back.
He just spawned as many fucking children as he could.
He's back to back with Dora the Explorer. The best spy and the best explorer. Finally. The backpack's telling Nick what to do. He's like, shut up. Puts a stogie out in his backpack eye.
Fuck you, backpack.
What's Spanish for eat a dick?
He wipes his ass with a talking map. It's like, don't do that. I can't tell you where to go. Oh, I'll tell you where to go. Yeah. Like, how many kids is he gonna have? That is he not gonna be happy until he buries everything that came from his loins?
He's always going to just shoot his balls off and end this.
He's just like, fuck it. Oh, this legacy virus kept me alive. Shit's a little boring now without a dick.
Good thing I have pee-pee fingers. And he starts running around touching everyone.
You're pregnant. You're pregnant.
Yeah, man. Just kill him. Kill that other Nick Fury or something, because
I don't like Nick Fury Jr. I think it's dumb. I will not read anything. If he shows up in a comic I'm reading, I'm just going to put it down. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't care about his nationality or anything. It's just the simple fact that you had to copy the movie for the movie audience and not realize that
they're not your demographic.
Yeah, they're never going to fucking care about this character the way your dedicated fans are.
Yeah.
And you need to get people that fucking read to read your shit, not people that go and pay $20 in a theater and watch it in 3D because they're just like, it's moving towards me. I can feel the thrust of the blasters.
You're gonna say something else. I can feel the thrust of his ass cheeks. Yeah, that's the thing. And every time you say Nick Fury Jr., I think you're going to say James Bond Jr. And then I'm going to think about how you chase scum around the world.
Great cartoon. I would much rather
James Bond Jr. chases scum.
Why was James Bond Jr. American?
Around the world, because that, UK
is made in the United States.
Oh, I was going to say because they didn't want anything to do with it.
No, that's true, too. Yeah, I'd much rather watch or read a James Bond Jr. comic book.
I'd rather watch that old shit Nick Fury movie that Hasselhoff was in.
I would rather watch that too.
Than read anything with Nick Fury Jr.
He at least had a good look for it.
I'm not as passionate about that character. It's either way, so for me personally. But yeah, no, you guys have legitimate arguments. I don't want to say it's to the point where they abuse you as a fan, because in the end of the day, they're just trying to broaden their voice, get many as readers, as much readership, followership, can't speak, as they can.
Comic speak going on right there.
Big time. And that's kind of the sad, ugly truth.
Yeah, and when they do stuff like that, it's like we've talked about before. They're almost pulling a reverse movie where they've changed the nationality in the movie, like a kingpin going from an Italian guy to an African American guy.
Right.
It's like they're doing that in reverse. So you can't raise too much of a fuss because then everyone's just like, racist. Yeah. And it's just like, no, you don't need to fix shit that's not broken.
Right.
Like the rest of your universe fucked up. Go ahead, but you don't need to inject movie
I could almost see if he was like a newer character, like not even like 5 years old or something. But Nick Fury's been around for a fucking long time.
Yeah.
And just to be like, oh, we kind of did it in Ultimates, and then we kind of now we're stuck with that.
They've been using him so frequently in the last like 15 years, and using him well.
Yeah.
It's
it wasn't like he was a turd of a character.
Yeah, it's not like he's just been showing up like he used to in the Spider-Man cartoon. Be like, good job, Spider-Man. I'll fucking do something from here.
You want to dab that? You want a high five? Knuckle bump.
Good job realizing that Chameleon was just a copy of me backwards, and the eye patch was on the wrong eye.
Can you guys just
shouldn't everyone have noticed that?
Can you just kill him from space?
Wouldn't that have shown up in the retina scan when your right eye was scanned? Wait a minute.
You are a rascally scamp, Peter. Always asking these questions.
Pinches his nipples. He's just like, I can see him through the suit. Get out of here, you damn kid.
What is that, a terry cloth?
You want to tackle this last one?
What's
From the last Google?
I can't find it. Where's it at?
From
Sound
Matt
off.
Griffin from Google Plus as well.
Oh, go ahead and I'll let you
Dude, I
introduce.
thought you wanted to read this one. You wanted to read it from beginning to end.
Oh, yeah.
Because you were just like, this fucking needs to be read.
Now I got the gigglies and I don't know if I can do
Alright,
it.
Fine, then I'll do it.
I'll try.
Okay, go ahead.
When I was 15, back in 1992, two things just killed it for me. And I didn't collect for another 15 years. One, Griffin and DeMatteis butcher names. Giffen leaving Justice League, and Dan Jurgens taking over. Oh God, this sucks so bad. I thought that Jurgens was a much better artist and writer than he is now, but just to be fair. And then there was the death of Superman, and that sucked. Even then, I know this was just a way to get me to buy comics again. And it didn't have to do squat with telling an interesting story or art.
And you know what's a funny thing? Dan Jurgens did Death of Superman as well. So basically, Matt saying Dan Jurgens
blows.
blew back in the 90s.
He blows today.
He kind of does. No offense, Dan. I mean, yeah, he is better, but it's like, with Dan, you cannot let him write and draw a book. He suffers from Terry Moore, or Tony Daniels. Sorry, Terry Moore. Fuck.
Terry Moore's like, fuck you, my man.
No, that's what you should aspire.
Exactly.
And it's more
I
of
thought
like
you love my book.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
I'm sorry. I misspoke. My tongue was ahead of my brain. My brain was ahead of my tongue. I don't know.
Tongue was in a guy's butt. Terry's like,
Gross.
whatever.
But yeah, like Dan Jurgens and Tony Daniel, I kind of put them on par with each other because they're both writers and artists that can do one or the other and actually can do that quite well. But then when you start giving them the entire book, then you just start to see like
You almost get like neurotic where they're just like,
well, you know, they
story sucks.
It's just those deadlines. They're creative killers. So the story starts to become really just blah because, you know, they're writing for themselves. And I'm like, well, let's do fucking 15 splash pages and call this issue good. Or something suffers. Either they start to phone in the art more or just the story.
Dan, why does he have two left hands?
Why does he have two? Did your inker fix this for you at all? I'm my inker too. Oh, fuck, I told them to assign you an inker.
Well, make sure you fire your inker.
Yeah, so I mean, I agree. We can all agree about the death of Superman just being a sales gimmick.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, even the that documentary about Superman, they pretty much said as much. They're like, we're getting our asses kicked on this Superman shit. We need something. And that one asshole was like, fucking kill him. Can we kill him? I would like to kill him.
If you
Every fucking pitch session, he was like, kill Superman.
If you think about it, though, brilliant idea.
Yeah, it was the first great sales gimmick.
And then we're paying for it ever since.
Yeah, because they had no. Here's the thing, it was great, but they should have had the return already lined up, and so that it wasn't so fucking shitty.
I think it was more like, you know, I wasn't there, but 50-50, like, well, either people are going to buy into this and we're just going to hurry past it, or it's actually going to, you know, do something.
Yeah.
And I think they were like, oh, shit, this actually made an impact. What do we do? I don't know. Let's bring them back. But how do we bring them back? A bunch of different assholes?
But that's the thing is they should have, you know, granted that they were the first to do it.
Right.
But they should have realized that even if it didn't pan out and they just left him dead, they should have still had a game plan to bring him back. Like,
dude, I hate to say
it was almost like their planning period just stopped. They figured out we can make a lot of money off of this, and they just stopped caring after that.
Even today, they don't have a plan to bring anybody back.
I know, that's what I'm saying. They should have that plan. It's like they just think of cool fucking deaths, and then they don't realize these characters can't stay dead because they are a brand at that point.
They're business, not.
You know, look how fucking long Johnny Storm was dead for.
2 minutes.
Couldn't even get an R.I.P. Johnny T-shirt.
I couldn't even cook a Hot Pocket by the time that motherfucker came back.
Here's your T-shirt. No, I'm already Rebirth shirt. I want that one.
He's
I already
back,
ordered
dog.
that one.
Oh, yeah. So what do I do with all these shirts? Shove them up your ass. Rebirth.
Send them to third world country. They'll wear that and the losing Super Bowl champion T-shirts. I get 2 shirts to pick from. Yay!
Exactly. Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, I can't speak a lot about the Giffen and DeMatteis. I just know that, that's where you get all the kind of like the historic run of like Booster Gold, and it's just like really quirky Justice League team that everyone just loved because they took these B-listers and made great stories with them. And Dan DiDio was just like, I don't like this shit. I'm gonna fuck this up. And that's when they started killing characters from that run. Like obviously Ted Kord, still dead. And there was a whole conspiracy that DiDio just really went after those characters because he didn't like the run. But it's become such a historic run that people just people were just like, I loved it. I mean, you made me give a fuck about Guy Gardner and Booster Gold before
it was they're forced into a book that they can't move on their own.
Exactly. So, I mean, I can definitely see how them just being like, all right, we're off this fucking book. We're just
fuck it. Yeah,
we're tired of the.
Well, especially if your shit's gonna get bullied around, you know what I mean? And it's just
and it's just like
takes the fun out of it.
Everything they did was just intentionally undone.
Yeah,
and that's gotta be hard as a creator to watch shit that you try to build up and set up for the next people, and the next guy was
pulls
just like,
the rug out from under it.
No.
Yeah.
I don't like this. I'm gonna kill him, her. I'm gonna make him crippled. That one
wins the lotto and no one sees him ever again.
Yeah. He won the lotto. He doesn't even care. Never even cared about justice. He just wanted money. And it's not even Booster Gold. It's just like
one guy just stopped showing up.
Just like, fuck it.
Where is he? I don't know.
He just showed up in the first issue. He was like, you know what? I don't. They're gonna cancel us. I'm gonna leave.
He's working at Pizza Hut right now. He saw it coming.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's the phone order guy. Not even the driver getting tips. He's the guy fucking up your order. Like
he's like, wait a minute.
We have a website now. I don't know why I have to talk to you.
Can't I do this on a computer? Aren't robots making pizzas now?
Correct. It just becomes Futurama. The dog's fucking in the spaghetti sauce eating meatballs, pooping. I don't know why I just thought of that.
So, I guess the moral of this episode of CBMFP was to watch more Futurama.
Yeah, you should.
Read less comics because it'll break your heart less.
Don't read the Futurama comics. They're not very good.
They suck.
They kind of make you sad. You're just like, oh, this is not good.
First off, thank you guys for listening. Second off, thank you for sending these in. It means a lot to us. We love to have this interaction with you guys to, just finger pulse, see what you're thinking. Apologies if we rambled on too long and kind of like
we didn't know,
maybe missed the point of what you asked, but I think we nailed them all pretty well.
Yeah, and maybe we didn't like sit here and yell the whole time. Maybe we were kind of goofy about it, but I think that it kind of makes the pain.
Yeah, it eases. You know what? That's what they say. You get in a huge car wreck, laughter, and then you're fine again.
I can't use my legs. I don't know.
Yeah, just maybe they meant laughing at other people. I don't know. Yeah. He can't use his legs.
Like a dog wearing sunglasses on his butt.
That's hilarious.
That is hilarious.
So once again, thank you guys. We hope you enjoyed this. We'll probably do these. Try to make them a habit. Maybe once.
Yeah, maybe we'll try to just do
once a month. Maybe
one episode where it has one in it instead of
a
whole episode of it. But this was to kind of give. I think there was some confusion when I posted the question out there to everyone where they weren't really sure
elaborating on like the passion of
So maybe now they'll understand. It's like
it's what tears your turd box. That's what you've been listening to. Yeah. CBMFP presents What Tears My Turd Box. Tell your friends. Let's make it a talking point.
Yeah.
We'll do it again real soon. We'll see, I guess, the results or the response.
Yeah.
And if there's tons, we'll just keep doing episodes of them, or we'll sprinkle them in. We'll just see how it plays.
Yeah. And one day when Kevin finishes one more day, we'll tackle that one.
I'm chipping away at it.
That might just be a whole fucking episode.
One day at a time.
Because I got a lot to say.
And then Dustin had his
Oh yeah, I never got to mine.
turd box.
It's
so
good.
we'll keep that. We'll keep that in the cellar, close to Grammy's body. So
because it's one that's only probably pissing me off. So people are like, I wasn't really bothered by that.
it's just the voice of one angry man.
It is, and I don't care. That's fine. Like this is when you hear my question, you'll be like, or like mine.
Your turd
my
terror.
personal, my turd terror. That's not like like a Pepto-Bismol.
Sounds like a personal problem. Is what it sounded like.
Maybe. You might just completely be like, this guy's just fanboy raging right now, but I don't care because that's what this is about.
That's what exactly what this is about. This is your soapbox. We are CBMFP. It's Comic Bastards motherfucking podcast. Google Plus, Facebook, Twitter. It's all there. Tumblr, Pinterest. Attack it. Attack it. Attack it. We'll see you next time.
A comic book, Reginald? Are you sure?
As sure as I am of your disgusting pig-knuckled touch.
All right, Reginald. You be careful.
Let me see here. I'm just going to flip through a couple of pages. Oh. Yeah, I can't read.
Oh, dear God.
I can't read. I know. The only words I know are Bologna and jalapeno. Oh,
bologna and jalapeno?
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Our lives are filled with such chows.
Oh, it's chaos. Chaos, you stupid slag. Don't fight it. When you fight it, it hurts me.
Goes Reginald.
Bring in the thunder and dynamite. Why won't you shut up? I'm sweating now. What was that? You stop it.